What's up, everybody? Where my team drunk at? Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I know you're looking at me right now and you're just thinking, this guy looks like he's Magnum P.I. from Catahoula. I eat a lot of carbs. Fuck, I'm fat. Oh yeah, I'm 38 years old. I come from a family of criminals. You know, like, it was really weird growing up because all of my cousins and stuff became like police officers because that was the only way they could rebel against their parents. You know, it makes it really awkward to rob a store when you run into one of your parents at the same time. You know, I have a cousin who's a state trooper and he never met his dad. And the only way he's going to meet him is if he gets him to finally cash in all of those warrants are out for him. And so he always says stuff to him and he'll be like, man, one day I'm going to bust my dad. Keep dreaming, buddy. Whew, I am fucking shit-faced. Yes. I was pre-gaming pretty hard before I got here, and I started taking shots a few minutes ago, and they have hit. I normally am a stoner. Normally that's like my safe zone. I like to smoke weed, I like to get stoned, I like to go to my family's house. You know, I like to go there, I go to my brother's house, he's got 5 kids. You know, there's nothing better than just being completely shithouse wrecked. And you go to your brother's house, you knock on the door swings open, and the kids are like, well, Uncle Morgan. And you're like, what's up, kids? Where's your cereal and fruit snacks? I'm eating every Go-Gurt in that fridge tonight. I got told that I can't babysit anymore because I got a little too pissed off. I was hanging out, I was watching the kids, and they were watching Coco Melon. And I watched this episode where Coco Melon is having to race his brother and his sister with these race cars, and they have to blow up balloons that push the race cars. You know, and Coco Melon, or JJ is his name, he keeps losing because he's the baby. He's got undeveloped lungs. He can't help himself. You know, his brother is like 4 years old. He's blowing this balloon up. He's winning every time. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's a harsh lesson that kids need to learn, you know? Sometimes loss is a heavy thing that they're going to have to deal with. And then JJ pulled out a magic flute, and he blew on this flute, and an elephant came out of nowhere and blew this fucking balloon up. And this kid won the race, and the older brother's got his head down, and I just started cussing. I was like, dude, what the fuck are they teaching you? Magic isn't going to help you. Life is terrible. Every choice you make is a mistake. And my brother was like, dude, he's only 3 years old. Let him have a little bit of imagination and majesty. And I said, fuck that. I wish our parents would have told us how shit life was when I was 3. I probably would have played with my toys a little more. Instead of trying to be grown up, right? Oh, man. I love to smoke weed, but I'm bad at eating weed. I'm terrible at it. Not too long ago, I went to Portland, Oregon, and I was hanging out with my friends out there, and one of my buddies handed me this, it's 1,500 milligram gummy. And he was like, hey, look, bud, I know you smoke a lot in Louisiana, but shit's legal here. So only eat like a little leg, because I don't think you can handle it. And all I heard was, I don't think you can handle it, bitch. And I looked at him and I was like, I ain't no bitch. I'm Morgan fucking Wright. I'm gonna eat that whole fucking gummy. And then I'm gonna drive us the 2 hours to our destination, because this ain't shit. 20 minutes in, I start sweating bullets heavier than I got right now. I look like I'm about to have a heart attack. I'm breathing heavy. My buddy had the audacity, the sheer audacity to say something at all. And he goes, bro, you ever wonder what it's like to live in a world of perpetual night? What? He goes, yeah, you know how like Alaska has like 40 days a night? What? He's like, well, what if like you had to live in a world where there was no sun? And I started hyperventilating. The car started going off on the side of the road. I had to pull over. I was like, dude, I can't afford to put lights in my house that are going to simulate sunlight. I got to get like a tanning booth and start taking vitamin D. Like, I pay like pretty high rent. I started freaking out. He goes, bud, calm down. I go, why? Why do I got to calm down? And he goes, the sun's out right now. So I think you're going to be okay. And I went, oh, fuck, I love the sun. And I kept thinking to myself, it'd be so much easier if I was just shit-faced and somebody asked you something like that, and they're like, dude, you're drunk, and they're like, you ever wonder what it's like to live in a world of perpetual night? And you're so drunk, you're like, who the fuck is night? I'll fight night right now. I don't give a fuck. Oh, man. Right? My dad had a stroke a couple of months ago. And he lost 2 years of like his memory. So like he had to like watch the end of Game of Thrones a second time. And I kept trying to warn him in the hospital. He wanted me to bring it to him. He said, son, I got to see the end of it. I don't remember it. And I said, Dad, you don't want that. Just live knowing that the books are better. And he's like, bring it to me. And so I brought him a laptop with all the episodes. And I came back the next day and he had caught up on everything on the final seasons. And I said, Dad, well, how do you feel? And he goes, you should have just let me die. I hope I have another stroke. Oh, man. A couple of days ago, I found out that they're bringing back To Catch a Predator. Everybody remember that fucking hilarious show? Always some like 85-year-old, 45-year-old dude, bald, and he comes in with Alizé in 2013. He's like, I'm here for this 13-year-old girl. Chris Hansen walks out, and it's all over. Well, they're bringing it back, and this show had like 23 seasons. And I was like, y'all got to be more creative at catching these guys, because they should know better by now. Like, they should just know that this is just like, if you're going to a house and everything seems like it's there, there's pizza out, Chris Hansen's on the other side of that wall. And I started thinking there's got to be a better way we can catch these guys. Like, there's got to be something they can test in the human body, and they can see who's going to be like a pedophile and who's not. Like, I just imagine a guy walks into a doctor's office, and the doctor walks in, and they're like, oh, Mr. Jared from Subway, please have a seat. How are you feeling? And he's like, well, I'm not feeling too fresh. And they're like, right, well, we're going to run some tests, and we'll be back and let you know what's going on. About 20 minutes later, 2 orderlies come in. They got a straitjacket. Oh, what's going on? All right, sir, well, your blood pressure looks good. Your white blood cell count is good. But your cholesterol levels are way too high. So we got to put you down. Oh, man. I thought of that because I was watching a cholesterol commercial. And I was watching this dude and a kid like playing on the beach. And I was just like, cholesterol. It's more like molesterol. And I fell over my kitchen table trying to write down that joke because I knew that was the t-shirt. I'm going to finish this last one. I'm going to get out. One of my things that, like, when I get stoned, I go to my brother's house. My little nephew, my oldest one. His favorite thing to do is superheroes. Like, he's an artist. He's a comic book artist. That's what he wants to be. And he drew his own Avengers. And I thought it was so cool. I was like, dude, tell me about these superheroes. This is so awesome. And he goes, well, this guy right here is a wizard that can summon hot dogs. And I looked at him like, is that some type of sausage? And he goes, no, that's a wiener wizard. So stupid. And then he looked at another guy. I was like, who's that? And he goes, well, that's Gill Girl. She's got a fish top human bottom. And that bottom was thick, I tell you. I would have still talked to Gill Girl. I'm from I grew up in New Orleans, so I like the smell of a pier. I kept going. I was like, well, who's that guy? He goes, well, that's I Scream. He's got to scream to stay invisible. And I laughed at that because I'm imagining like the Avengers movie, and they're running with like the Infinity Gauntlet, and you just see a gauntlet run through an empty room, and you just hear, ah! And they're like, go get him, Ice Cream! I saw the hero, the leader, and I was like, who's that? And he goes, well, I haven't thought of a name yet, but his powers are magic buttholes. And I was like a pocket? Like he can pull anything out of his ass? Because that's a power I'd like to have, to just pull anything out of my ass. I mean, yeah, it's your ass, but you know, you can pull anything out of it. Like, and he goes, no. He can magically make buttholes appear anywhere on his body. And he can shoot poo and farts at anybody that tries to stop him. And he started thinking for a second, and he grabbed his juice box, and he was looking at me, and he thought real hard. You know what, Uncle Morgan? I said, what, buddy? His superhero name is Sloppy Joe. And I realized right then and there that he's the most brilliant person in our family, but he's still not old enough to know what plagiarism is. So I pushed him on the ground and snatched up that drawing and came straight here. Thank you, everybody. My name is Morgan Wright. Team Drunk, everybody.